Both Anjali and you have 9-year-old. What a coincidence. Okay, we also have Akansha. Akansha, hi. Would you like to just quickly introduce yourself? You can say hi to the group. If you can come on video, that would be nice. Both Anjali and you have 9-year-old. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Let me introduce myself. I'm Ratnesh, and yeah. So let me also kind of start the recording. Right. So I want to share two things. One is how we started, and then I'll talk about my own children. So um, we started. We when I say we, me and my wife Aditi, we started being with children. This was back in 1999, and we spent uh, just our time being with them, working with them. And in the initial 3-4 years, the see, we didn't know anything about children or anything about education or anything about learning. Not that we know much now, but the best part was because we didn't know anything, we went totally blank. We went there to, we thought, okay, children will tell us how is it that we should be with children. And uh, that totally changed the game for us. In the first few years, they showed us something which was totally different from what the world has been talking about, what education we have been through. The children literally, punched us in our face. They said two things, two main things. I mean, there are hundreds of new perspectives, insights that we got, but I want to share two main ones. The first one is that they showed us, and we were working with all ages, right from teenagers to toddlers. uh, the first thing and the most important thing, they said they like to do what they like to do. As simple as that, but it has a great significance. They like to do what they like to do. Right? Which means if you allow them to do what they like to do, they get so deep into it, so engrossed into it, they like to go to it again and again and again and again. And they really learn a whole lot of things just by doing what they like to do. Yeah. Literally, whatever they need to learn in life, they can learn in life by doing what they like to do. So that was the most important thing, that they like to do what they like to do. They're really very interest driven and very strongly, deeply get engrossed in that. Okay. The second thing is that all the resources that they need to learn are already inside them. Now, this took us a little time to understand, because we thought, we are the ones, we will bring lots of resources, we will design things, design activities, this, that, we will do a lot of, we thought we were the brainy kind, But, well, the interesting part was that the children exactly have all the resources that they need to learn something. Yes, they may need some physical resources. If by resources you are thinking, oh, where is the telescope and where is the microscope? No, no, no. We're not talking about physical resources. That are ample available in this today's world. But we are talking about, more important, the learning resources. What requires us to learn something, which is all the abilities inside us, right? Um, the biggest proof for us, actually, or rather, for you also, if you are saying, Ratnesh, how is that possible that they have all the resources? Is that they, as a toddler, when they're 1 year or 2 year old, they go ahead and learn everything on their own. They learn a language, or maybe even multiple language if parents speak different languages, maid speaks another language, and neighbor speaks another language. At 1-2 years, they're able to learn a language, construct everything, the grammar, the vocabulary, the sentences, the syntax, whom to speak which language in, and which words are emotionalized, which words are straight. They're too good at it. So just that one example to show you the second part. The second part, where the first one I said is that they like to do what they like to do. Okay. And the second one is that they have all the resources. So this really, made us very excited. And obviously we started to think that, hey, there has to be a place which allows them to do this. Yeah. If they are such voracious and strong learners, then we need to give them that space that they can learn, right? Rather than we getting going into teaching them. So that is how Aarohi came into being, formally in 2008, with our daughter being the first child of Aarohi. And well, there's been no looking back. We've created Aarohi, and Aarohi has become a space where the children rule themselves. They don't rule the world. They don't need to. They rule themselves. They lead themselves, and that is how it goes. So this is a little about how we started, and yeah, that time Aroi was initially in Bangalore, but then one of the grandparent of a child had this 5 acres of land in the middle of nowhere, and he just gave it to us. He said, "Go ahead, you please set up a campus here." So now we have a lovely, wild, rural residential campus, and we all enjoy living there. We would invite you to come here and enjoy this little campus also, but more about that later. So a little about yeah, my two children. I have a daughter who is 27 now, married, and I have a son who is 21 now. So obviously these two guys are already out of the nest, as they call it, and they have not gone to school. They have not given any 10th or 12th. They have not gone to any college. No degrees, no certificates. Yeah. My son proudly says the only test I passed ever in my life was the driving test, right, to get his driving license. So that's how these two children, and they've thoroughly enjoyed their life. They continue to do so now in their respective professional fields. And obviously, much bigger than that is we've been very fortunate to have worked with thousands of families, children of all ages. Many of them are adults now. Um, as part of Aarohi. So that's been our fortune to have such beautiful, amazing children and families to work with over so many years. So it's about 26 years now. Yeah. And we have thoroughly enjoyed it. Believe me, the children have completely enjoyed it, though the world has its own ways of looking at education. So that's a light of kind of a quick but a long introduction. um, um, so the more people who have joined in, we have Chitra, Mehek, Suvarna, and Vikram. Uh, uh, would you like to quickly introduce even Akansha, if you have your networks sorted out? Then, if would you like to come on video, just say hi to the group so that we have a little visual connect with each other, and then we can take this forward. This is very, very informal. Please don't think anything is here is formal. Um, but yeah, let's connect with each other. Go ahead, please quickly introduce. You can just right now just share your name, your city, and age of children. Let's start with that.
I'm Chitra from Bangalore. My child is going to be 11 years in soon in this
Okay.
month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chitra. Welcome.
Hi, Vikram here from Bangalore.
Hi, Vikram.
I have two children. One is 12 years old, going to be 13 soon, and one is just 1.5. So I am here to learn uh, for my the 12-year kid.
Okay. Superb. Welcome.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Suvarna from Bangalore. I have two children. I have two sons. One is in grade 7. He's
Mm-hmm.
going to be 13-year-old
Mm-hmm.
on May. And the other one is in grade 5. He's 10-year-old.
10-year-old. Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes. Yes,
Yeah,
Akansha. Go ahead.
yeah. So my son, like, hi, I'm Akanksha, and my son is going to be 8 year old soon, and we are really eager to, looking forward to Arohi because, like, we have visited Arohi once, and in future also we are planning to visit Arohi.
Sure,
Thank
sure.
you.
Yeah. Okay, who else? We have Mehek also. Mehek, you want to say hi?
Hi, I'm Mehek. I have two kids. One is 4 years old and the other is 2 years old. So it's been a year, like we are unschooling, haven't sent to school.
Hmm.
And I'm also, want to visit the campus probably by the end of February. So want to know how the things are going to be like. I have attended Jagriti, but not entirely in shifts. I need to redo it.
Please
Yes,
do that. Please do
before
that.
coming to the
Yes.
campus.
Yes. Yes. It makes
Yes.
sense. It makes sense. Okay. Thank you. I think everybody has said hi. Okay. Super. So what I'll do is I will start with a small presentation with your permission. But the first slide has to be a contribution by you. So I want to start with what uh, basically asking you what are you looking for. Yeah. So let's put down what is this group looking for. Every week the group is different, and yeah, it is my pleasure to interact with all of you. And yeah, so what are you looking for? If you have some key thoughts in your mind, it could be something that you're looking for, or you could have your or your child needs something, or you have a concern. Just share quickly so that I can weave the discussion and even a little bit of presentation as per what you are looking for. Right. So you can share in chat, you can share in voice. Please go ahead.
So I have realized that every kids, they are different. They're not the same.
Mhm, mhm,
And
mhm,
I feel for my daughter, like she doesn't like the traditional method of teaching at all.
mhm.
So I am looking for something different for her without burdening her with exams, tests, and homework, like some sort of alternate kind of schooling which she can connect with easily.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. More people, more thoughts. I hope I got what you said. Uh, yeah. More people. Whatever is on your mind. Whatever is top thing that brought you here. Okay. I think somebody's typed in chat. Okay. Mehak is support for unschooling. Okay. Support. I'll just type the word support. Yeah. Ravi saying apply learning, right environment, context awareness r- rather than, okay. I'll put it down, though I'm not very sure I understand these words. Um, but yeah, anyways, let's put that down. Like-minded community. Yes, yes, Mehak. Yeah. Yeah, more thoughts, more thoughts. Others, you can come on mic, feel comfortable. Uh, as I said, if you share, then only I can kind of talk about what you are looking for or what are your concerns. Kansha is adding, okay, this one I'll put here, decision making, independence, personality development. I like this
Okay,
house,
so
Suvarna. You've cutely put personality development in children and me. I love that. So nice. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, somebody was speaking.
actually, I was sharing something. I don't know, like whether, like my son, he goes school daily, okay, but he doesn't like schooling actually.
Hmm.
So every morning there is a hustle. He will ask me why I'm going school, why I have to write, why I have to give exams, why I have to write for test. So
Sure. Sure.
he's scoring well, like he's scoring 80, 90%. If another parent would have been at my place, they would be like, okay, he's doing really great. But I'm not happy because he's also not happy. So
Sure.
we are just pushing him, forcing him, and he's doing everything. And school is also very happy, but I'm not happy because he's also not happy. Because he's like, why I have to write whole day? Why I have to, if I know these answers, why I have to write again? Why I have to do homework? If I
Hmm.
have again, done something in school, why they are doing this so many times? So these things, like he's not happy in school, I can see. Like he's in grade one.
Yeah.
My parents are saying that you are thinking too early, but I can see because every morning there is a fight between all three of us. Like I, my husband, and he, we all of three, we are discussing why you should go to school, and he will give us some logic that why he should not go.
Sure, sure,
he
sure. We'll
so
let's, yeah, yeah.
I think I can relate with that. My kids' school tagline is "Happy and Creative School." And
Hmm.
from last year, she has been coming complaining. They have lied, Amma. Do you know it is not happy and creative school at all? They don't do anything creative in it.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anything else anybody wants to add to the list? We can always add later. Mehak is setting discipline, routine setup. Okay. So, okay. Anybody else? Anything else you are looking for? Yeah.
Uh, this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Sita.
Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, actually, I'm not aware of Aarohi anything before.
Hmm.
Ajit sir referred to attend this session, so it might help us.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, actually, my son, right? So he used to be very nice. Like he used to be disciplined, whatever I say,
Hmm.
listening and going to school and then doing homeworks or whatever he's supposed to do. But
Hmm.
from last 1 year, maybe he's entered into the teen now. He's going to be 11, so he started speaking out now. He's saying, "I don't want to," and he's dragging things and refusing things. And then food, in terms of food,
Sure.
studies,
Sure.
everything is going into arguments now. And it was not easy to convince him. The same thing today, I went to the PTM, all the teachers also said the same thing. Focus is less, questioning is more.
And isn't that good news? Finally, he's questioning. Finally, he's arguing.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
till 10
Okay.
years he may not be aware of doing it now. I have to learn how to deal with him.
Okay. Why would you like to deal with it? This is the best news I can hear. Isn't this your child is finally becoming himself? If he is following everything that everybody is saying, including you and the teachers and the school and the system, then he's merely a slave. He's no more himself. When he starts questioning and arguing, you should start celebrating. You should send sweets to us. This is the best news, at
But
least according to
want to
me.
study,
Yeah,
he's saying he don't want to study, showing that.
yeah, we'll come to that. We'll come to that. But you realize, forget the studies part. But you realize what has happened. He is finally finding himself, and that's so beautiful. I want you to just stay with that thought for some time. Yeah, no hurry to get into these studies and all. We can talk about that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We have a very interesting list. We'll come back to the list. Let me take you through a quick walk through what Aarohi is, and then we can take the list and more questions and more discussions. Yeah. Um, uh, so let me finish this, and then I can reply. Yeah. So I want to start by saying that first of all, what is Aarohi? So Aarohi is not a school. Aarohi is a community, is a space which is built by families, and it composes of different families. And we have been around for so many years, and there's so many families here who have, done this journey of, we call it open learning or unschooling, homeschooling, whatever term you want to call it, but primarily where the child is leading himself or herself. So if you have any questions about how can the child lead himself or herself, why is arguing and and questioning a good news, if you have that question, Chitra, then you can ask all the families who have been with us, so many families. And so we have a lot of experience amongst us as a community, um, of a different kind of a learning, of a different kind of an education, actually not different kind of learning, but a different kind of education, where the focus is not what the world tells you, but the focus is on what my heart tells you. The focus is on discovering oneself. So let me have a very quick introduction to how we think, what is education according to us, or what we call as life education, because education and living is much the same thing. We learn all our life. The education doesn't end at 20, 25, 30. The education is for the life. We keep learning, whether we are at job, whether we are at business, whether we learn as a parent. In fact, the education as a parent starts only when we have the child, right? Until that time, we are illiterate as far as child development goes or growth goes. And then while one day we have a child in our lap and we don't know what to do, and then we are figuring it out, right? So if you say, Ratnesh, how can somebody learn without necessarily going to a school or being taught? I would say, how did you parent, or how are you parenting? You're parenting because you're doing it on the job. A lot of us have learned on the job. So how does all of this, how is this education happens? Let's look at this very simple, but probably a daily dose for all of us, right? The idea is very simple. Let's say if I am the learner, or a child is a learner, or you are the learner, we decide what we want to do. Then we design, as in we think how will we do it, what resources we will use, where will we do it, with whom will we do it. So we design our learning or exploration, whatever you want to call it, and then we go ahead and do it. Yeah. And as we do it, we may fail, we may succeed, we may struggle, we may enjoy. It is, we reflect, and then that leads to the next day's decision. So that's the cycle that goes on and on. We decide, we design, we do, and reflect. And everybody in this whole world, whether they are presidents, or whether they are me and you, or whether they are a 2-year old or a 12-year old, we are all doing our education in this way, primarily. Yeah. Unless somebody says, no, 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 don't do it this way, I will teach you, and that is education. That's one way of looking at it. Nothing wrong with it. That's one model. But essentially, whatever we learn kind of in life, we do it this way. Yeah. Now, interestingly, we say that there are two aspects. One is called as learning, one is called as development. Learning is when we learn something new. If I don't know how to do crochet, then when I do crochet, that is learning, because I'm exploring it, and that exploration may come because I got exposed to somebody else doing it, and I say, hey, you are doing it, I also want to do it, and so on. So that's where the learning happens, right? And a lot of children do that. Children do that in like in multiple quantities. They will say, I want to do this, I want to try this, I want to explore this. So they are very hungry for exploring the new world around them. Yeah. The other thing is called as development, which is what we already have. A simplistic example would be a muscle. I already have a muscle and I develop it. Similarly, I already have patience in me, and I already have, let's say, honesty in me, and I already have responsibility in me, or leadership in me. Look at a 1-year old, how he or she leads his life. Right, at 1 year they are big leaders. We are the followers when we have a 1-year old. That somebody mentioned they have a 1-year old. I think Vikram mentioned one, or a small, a toddler. So toddler rules the house literally. No, so that's how it, so there is learning where there is something which is unknown, and there is development which is I already have, and I grow that. And how do we do both of these? We do both of these with what we call as interdependence. We do it with other people, directly or indirectly. I could be interdependent on a book. The book is interdependent on me, or my neighbor, or my friend, or my mother. So we all do this together, we're like on a big ship, and we are all interdependent. We are all coexisting with each other. There isn't necessarily need for one to define who is the teacher and who is the learner, because we are all doing it together. And when two people are interacting, doing things together, suppose you're playing cricket with your child, You are also learning cricket, and the child is also learning cricket. You're also developing some skill, the child is also developing some skill. So that's how the um, whole cycle goes on, and that's what we call as education. And as I said, it goes on for whole life. When we join a new job, we are totally interdependent on our colleagues, and there is so much, or you are dependent on books or some workshops or some seminars or whatever, however you learn from. So this is how we at Arohi, all or everybody does exactly this. They decide what they want to do, then they design how they want to do this, then they go out and do that, and then they reflect back on it. The decision is very important. It comes from the learner or the doer, and the reflection also comes from the doer. So that these two, the decide and the reflect, are two extremely important components. And yes, they're interdependent on all the other people in this whole planet. So we say to the child that you are the center of the universe, because everybody out there is there to support you. Yeah. So that's how we look at education here, which we call as child based, because at the center is the child. The child is deciding, the child is designing, the child is doing, the child is reflecting, obviously in an interdependent environment where we are supporting each other. Like somebody was asking, Mehak was asking, I need support. Yes, Mehak, the moment you are with more people, like-minded or unlike-minded, that I don't know, but the more you are with, the moment you are with other people, you are interdependent, and automatically there will be a beautiful, interaction of giving and taking between you and the other people. More about that in a little while. So what does Aarohi offer? In a nutshell, we have two options. One, we have a campus, a physical campus, a residential campus, about 60 kilometers from Bangalore. That is where children can come and stay and live here, and explore different things and do different things. How they do it, I'll just share. If the child is, so this is mostly for children more than 8 or 9 or above, who can be here on their own. Obviously, the parents can come at any time. The parents are part of the community, so they are part of the campus. Whenever they want to come, they can come. For younger children, below 9 years, typically one parent comes with the child. For 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, so it's a parent-child combo who comes to the campus and stays. So all of that we can discuss if you have that need. So that's the right side of the slide that you see. On the left side, we have a huge online campus. What does that mean? That is not for children. The online space is only for the parents, and we have multiple, we have a huge community, and the community is there to support, to guide, to learn. So it's a give and take community. You don't join the community only to get something. You will also give, you will also get, and it goes on an ongoing basis. Yeah. Obviously, the beginning of one of the main things is the Jagrati program, which I can talk about. And I would say, if you are looking at understanding your child and working with your child, that's the place to start with, the Jagrati program. Anyway, we'll come to that little later. So what do we do at campus, or what do we guide you in doing if you are going to do it at your home, or whether your child goes to school or not? Is to work closely with the child, is to discover, develop, and nurture what is unique inside the child. What are their main capabilities? What is it that they want? Because that's their energy that will lead them. So that's what this slide is, the nutshell of what we do. Whether at, as I said, whether at campus, or we can guide you to do it at your home. Yeah. Now, how do we do that? Very quickly, four main points. The first thing is, every child creates what is called as a personalized learning plan, because it's about what that child wants to do. Yeah. So it's a personalized learning plan. And the best part, it's very dynamic, because children keep changing their likes. They would want to do something today, something tomorrow. And that's the best news. They should change it. This is their age to explore. This is not their age to finalize something. So it's great that they are very dynamic, that they keep changing things, keep exploring different things, keeps enjoying different things. So that's the first thing. Is to create a personalized learning plan, which is created by the parents with the help of the community, and obviously the child at the center. The second thing is, once I have a plan, now I need resources. I may want to do some projects. I may want to do some exploration. I may need some people. So that is what the community helps with, apart from the child himself creating these projects, these explorations. and match it with what they really need. Yeah. uh, the children explore a lot of real world experience. They go out into the world almost every now and then, once a week at least. They are interacting with the world, doing with the world, creating solutions for the world as well as for themselves, and getting exposed, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of exposure by going out into the world, traveling, meeting people, coming over to campus, children going out, and so on. Also, there is a lot of focus on self. Somehow in our conventional education, nobody taught us about, let's say, emotions or social relationships or my own self. Yeah, but we give a lot of importance, a lot of processes to nurture what people call as emotional intelligence, or my self leadership, or social skills, and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's the focus on myself. So these are the four key things, or the ways in which we work. We also have an option, which is the fifth thing, is people who don't want to go to college to do their professional journey. We call it passion to profession. They first identify what is it that they're passionate about, and then they work on that passion again with the real world, with the real industry, with experts in the industry, through internships, through projects, through their own networking, and so on and so forth. And then they develop that into the career. I was giving the example of both my children doing this journey without giving any 10th or 12th. But the option is there. Children who want to go back can go back and give a 10th or 12th and go back into a college system. So again, if you see in the slide on the left hand side is Radhika, who wanted to go to a college. So she went, gave 10th and 12th. I think 10th she gave to NIOS, 11th and 12th she did from a school, and then she has gone to a college. While on the right hand side, you see Skanda with his mom, who did not give any 10th or 12th, and he is now 20 plus, and he's already an entrepreneur in his chosen field. Yeah. So that's a little about what we do at Aarohi. It's a very, very top view. We can get into details. A little more specific. So if you are interested in child at Aarohi campus, please note resident children are 8 or 9 plus, who come and stay here whenever they want to, how much ever they, but minimum is 1 year. And they keep going back home every now and then, and so on. Or you can have if you have a younger child, it's the parent child. um, if you just want to come and experience for 1 week how this whole thing works, you're more than welcome. We like people coming here experiencing, because that's for you the best way to know how this whole thing works. So Mehak, you wanted to come over. Yeah, please come over. I think Akansha was also mentioning, please come over, stay with us for a week, and we'll enjoy exploring together. As I said, we already have a strong online community, which is, again, you sign up for a year. There's an ongoing, week to week, almost every day, some or the other action happening in this online community. This is only for parents. The online stuff is only for parents. The other thing which online happens is the Jagrati program. A lot of your questions about personality development, or how do I get disciplining, or how do I, a lot of those questions will not be answered. Jagrati is not about answering your question, not about giving you any solutions, but it will create different perspectives into you, so for you to understand, oh, maybe this is not what I'm calling is as a disciplining challenge. It's not a challenge, it's possibly a good news. It's the child becoming more and more resourceful from inside. So like that. So Jagrati is a totally game changer. And we have a batch starting right away on 23rd, next Friday. uh, Strongly recommend this to anybody who is working with children. uh, it's only 11 sessions, happens twice a week, 2 hour sessions, and then a lot of intense discussion in the WhatsApp groups for the duration of 11 sessions, which will be about 6 weeks. But as I told you, 11 sessions to open up at least 1110 more windows, more perspectives. All the perspectives that we have gathered, we will share. And then the rest of the life to look through those perspectives and enjoy them. Yeah. Two more quick announcements before I close this presentation is we have a meetup at our campus coming up on 26 January. So if you're around Bangalore, or our campus is near Hosur. So if you're around our area, please drop in. I will be sharing the details in the WhatsApp groups. you can register and come on this. This is a half day kind of a meetup. You'll meet a lot of other uh, you know, parents who are not necessarily part of ROE, parents like you, how you are meeting everybody here. So that's one thing. We also have a small workshop happening. This is part of our community work, but some workshops we open up to others also who are not necessarily part of the community right now. So this is about focusing on abilities, how to develop abilities in your child and why abilities are very important. This is on Tuesday, just 2 days later, in the night, 8:30 to 9:30. Again, I'll share the link in the chat if you're interested in attending this webinar. So this is a 1 hour webinar. Okay, let me stop sharing now. Yeah. Now the best part. You can put up a question, we can have a little discussion, we can chit chat. I can share my views. Sometimes they are very different, and sometimes you may feel, what is this guy talking about? Um, yeah, but it's interesting because we have already been so conditioned to look at things only in certain ways. And in some ways, our children are begging us to look at themselves, them as in the children, and this whole, you know, this whole idea of learning and education in a different way. So my answers may little surprise you or confuse you. That's okay. You don't worry too much about that. Just see that there is more to discover. That's all. Yeah, so please go ahead, share your thoughts, questions, whatever you want to ask about children, about any of the things Arohi does, about child based education, unschooling, homeschooling, open learning, whatever you want to call it.
Ratnesh, I wanted to ask that if we are planning to visit the campus, we are planning to visit by the end of February, which is 23rd to 27th February. And
Mhm.
Saturday, Sunday, does anything happen in the campus if we want to stay? I don't know.
No, actually, the staying week is only from Monday to Friday. A weekend is not included in that.
Right. So, all right.
Yeah, so your dates, I will share the link just now. There is a calendar and the dates are listed there. The Monday to Friday is listed there. You'll have to sync up with those Monday to Friday.
Yes,
Bec-
so actually we were thinking about the last week of February and later on in the March, coming March, nothing. It's like an off week.
No, no, please look up the calendar. There are many weeks in the March. Don't worry. There are many weeks in March, many weeks in the February, many weeks in April. So see what suits you. But you'll have to follow the calendar exactly because there's so
Yeah,
many things happening here. So we have to synchronize everything. So that's why the calendar is put up in advance so that you can plan according to those dates.
like so if we are planning to come for a week and then we want to extend it further, so can it be done for another week? Or that also we need to plan for like 15 days together in advance.
Um, Well, I would say first come for a week, and when you're here for a week, if you think you want to stay more and um, you have a reason for that, at that time we will see what we can do about it.
Sure.
I would say let's start. We are very slow people, right? At our gate, when you reach our gate, you will find big written, "Welcome to ROE. Go slow." The
Uh,
world is trying to go fast. We are saying
Wonderful.
no. Children have taught us to go slow. They slowly enjoy their food, they can slowly enjoy their game, they can slowly enjoy their exploration. They've taught us there is more beauty and more learning actually, and more richness in slow. So yeah, plan for a week, we'll see how it goes. When you are here, we'll see what we can do, if you want to stay more or how, why you exactly, we'll work that out.
Sure, thank you.
Ratnesh, the 26th event that you have planned, can we
Yeah.
bring our kids along with us?
It is for the kids, it's for the
Okay.
families. Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever you are coming to campus, you have to bring your kids. What's the whole point? It is primarily for children, right? So please. Yes, children, grandparents, relatives, neighbors, you can bring anybody. Yeah. Yeah, more questions, I mean, yeah, logistical questions, fair enough. But I'm more looking at questions about the whole idea, because I'm sure for many of us, this whole idea that, ah, so there is no curriculum. Say, no, 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 no curriculum. The child is the curriculum, which means child deciding what they would like to do. Yes. Whole day? Yes. Whole life? Yes. Why not? So this is very new for many of us. So this whole idea. So if you have questions, please ask, um, because that is interesting. And that is more important right now. We'll work out the logistics. You can also ask me questions in that. Let me also pull up the slide where you had put up your questions. Yeah, but go ahead, please ask questions.
Ratnesh, I had one question.
Yeah,
Children, like when they, as you know them, like they're full of energy, and whatever they like today may change, keep changing.
yep.
Their interests may keep changing. So how do you manage that in the school? Like today, they may say something, and they may work, and after a few days or a month, if they change their
Yeah, Vikram.
um,
So two things. First of all, we are not a school, right? So there is no, in a school you have to manage. In a school, who manages children? The teacher or the school manages children. In ROE, since it's not a school, who manages the child? Each child manages himself. So if he or she is changing his exploration interest, which is good news, as I said, because at that this is the age to explore. Forget this age. At 57, I keep exploring so many different things. So I don't think there's an age to exploration. But definitely, children at that age love to explore. So they have to manage themselves. They have to say, oh, this I have to start from scratch, and that's not easy because I have to learn something new, or so on and so forth. So the whole focus is that the child becomes the leader. Actually, let me rephrase that. The child is already the leader of self. So first we have to give that space to the child and say, welcome, now start leading yourself. Maybe till now you were not, maybe till now everybody else was telling you what to do. Now you start telling yourself what I want to do. And as they start exploring their own leadership, their own sense of responsibility, that becomes the education, right? The sense of driving myself, setting my own, let's say, aspirations, motivations, targets, whatever they want to, and then meeting them, failing them 100 times, again meeting them. That is education. And that is the curriculum, and that is the learning, and that is the everything. You see, the contents will keep changing. Today they are exploring whatever. Let's say I'm exploring kite flying, making of a kite, threading a kite, putting it up, and so on and so forth. Right. So today I'm exploring kite flying, and tomorrow I could be exploring something totally different. Let's say a business, right? But the person is the same. The person needs to develop himself or herself, not necessarily kite flying by itself or business by itself. I can do business and then also change that. So the contents will keep changing, but the container is the one which we need to work on. So for us, the child is more important, not the so-called content of the or the intents of the child. What he or she wants to explore, the contents and the intents, that's for the child to decide. Why should I bother? If a child says I want to fly kites, I'll say super. If another child says I want to do this, I want to make, let's say, a swimming pool in our way, I'll say great, make a swimming pool. Right? The third child comes in and says I want to do a business out of my jewelry making. Okay, go ahead, do a business. So different children uh, come up with their own ideas and then they explore it. Obviously, younger children might explore many things in the same day. And as they grow older, typically older teenagers, 15, 16, they get into what we call as the passion to profession, where they start narrowing down and saying, I want to explore this. They're kind of, they're becoming big. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so how do you decide on child-centric method? Well, I'm not too sure. Normally, in a Gurukul model school, it will be teacher-centric. Teachers are the one keep learning and evolve. So I'm not too sure, Suvarna, what is your question? As in, how do you decide? Meaning, why would I need to decide? The child decides. There's no method in it. Each child is a method in itself, or rather, many methods. None of us learn only in one way. For something, you will go out and take help. For something, you will explore. For something, you will see a YouTube video. So aren't you also many made up of many methods? So each one of us has many methods for many things. right? So let's not, we are all plurals, we are not singulars, right? We have many, 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 many resources, many, many, many ways, many methods, many interests, many, 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 many. And we are many, if we are many, then it is for me to decide and evolve as a many, right? I may learn something from Vikram. Hey, Vikram does it like that, I should also do like that. And I may learn something from Anjali. Hey, Anjali does like that. So we are also constantly learning, copying, so-called cheating from each other, and building ourselves. I don't know if that was your question. I don't know. I just said something, whatever came to my mind, Suvarna. So you'll have to come maybe on the mic and tell me what are you looking for. By the way, Vikram, did I kind of answer your question? If yeah, okay.
So, my follow-up question is, what is that Aarohi facilitates for the children to explore?
Okay, so first of all, for that you need to understand what is Arohi, right? So Arohi is not a person, right? It's a community. Now let's assume at a given point of time, Vikram, there is let's just say 10 children for simplicity. Let's say there are 10 children, and there are two three, let's say, uh, Arohi members, and then there is Vikram also on the campus, and let's say Anjali is also there at the campus. I'm taking your name because you are there in front of me, right? So how many of us? That means at least about 15, 16 of us. Now, if you ask me, Ratnesh, who is going to facilitate this child? I would say all of us, isn't it? It's not that the children cannot facilitate children. In fact, they do it much better than us. It is not that children cannot facilitate adults. Believe me, right? You will wonder who's facilitating who. So we are all interacting, all pulling, pushing, helping, supporting, not helping, not supporting, fighting, laughing, jumping, you name it. We're doing everything what a life is, right? So, in a way, the life facilitates. In fact, forget just these, the dogs and the cats and the trees and the skies and the weather and the rain, everything facilitates. Right? In fact, the whole world is facilitating. There is a news somewhere. Something has happened. New rocket is launched. That news is also facilitating my thinking. Oh, they can launch a rocket. Can I? Am I interested in that? Oh, this is superb. I also want to go to moon. So you see, who is facilitating me? A book can facilitate. A YouTube video can facilitate. A simple WhatsApp post, a quote can facilitate me. So where does what end? I think we've boxed it too much. But when we live our life, that's why we call it life education. It's not for some future life, it's for today. Today I'm living my life full on. I receive it, I take it on, and not sanitized life, not put in nice little boxes and said, okay, now you will do this. No, no, no. uh, we are full on people living life full on, as I said, full fighting, full shouting, uh, full everything. So there is no it's like there is no boundaries. The only boundary is that we are together, and togetherness is only not limited to people who are in the campus. We just counted about 16, 17 people in the campus, right? But what about people not in the campus? They're also there. I can call somebody, I can message somebody, I can post somebody. So there's the whole world is at our tips. That is that is how the whole thing works. Okay. Okay, Rashmi is saying, okay, a lot of people, you can come on mic, dear. You have to type such a long, I have to read also, but that's okay. I will read it. Rashmi says, since the child keeps exploring and they may not be able to decide the right, say in the long run, this model further, how does it need to be taken further? Oh, if they want to go, you're saying if they want to go back to a school or to the college or 10, 12, yeah, they can all do that. When number of children have done that, right? From any age. The children who have, there's one girl, Avani, who at 7 said, oh, my neighbor also goes. I also want to go to school. So she pestered her parents. They put her in a school. She stayed there for a year. She said, I don't want to go to school anymore. She came back. Then went back into the school. So please don't think that that is an issue at all. Yeah. uh, at any point, whether it's schooling age or directly give 10th and 12th through things like NIOS or any other private boards, they can do that and directly go into college. So all permutation combinations is absolutely possible. But the only thing I want to question in what you have written is that one word, maybe the 16th word, the word right. You're saying the child may not be able to decide right at times. First of all, in all humbleness, Rashmi, I decide wrong almost 50% of my time
Yeah,
in my
yeah,
day-to-day
yeah.
life. So if I hold that percentage, then I realize life is not about right or wrong.
Right and wrong, yeah.
Life is about living. The living requires your roller coaster to go up and down and left and right, and you fall.
But as an adult, we are experienced in certain ways, so we may be able to guide them. That is
Yeah,
why I asked which
sure,
if
sure.
it
You
is the
please go
right
ahead and
thing to
guide.
do or not.
Yeah, yeah, please go ahead and guide. That's exactly that. You can guide, but please realize just as we know a lot, and knowing a lot can both be a benefit, an asset, and also a liability, a big liability, in fact. In fact, I don't know is a much better answer. Yeah, I would say knowing is a bigger problem than not knowing. Yeah. So just as much as I can, the child can learn from my knowing, I can learn from child not knowing. I can look at things in a very very different way. Yeah, and that is why I tell people come for the Jagrati program. You by the end of the Jagrati program you will say, oh, I only knew little, and there is so much more, so much more to explore from this world of children. Because in Jagrati,
Mhm.
when we worked with children, we thought we know everything. We will design activities, we will do this, we will do that. Well, very soon all we got from children was slaps, as in they were not slapping us physically, they were slapping us mentally, saying, in which world are you in? Right? We know much better than you. In the sense, not knowing, their way of knowing is not about knowledge, but about the energy to explore something, to see it differently, to be magical about it. They are able to see magic in everything. We are the stuck ones. So if you allow me, this is one thing I sell to everybody. Come for this Jagrati program. It will totally open you up. If you have, let's say, 100 windows into your child, as in 100 perspectives into raising your child, education, learning, we will add some 500 more. Not because you're 100, the windows that you already have, the perspectives that you have are absolutely fine. So if you think that we have knowledge that we need to give to the children, absolutely fine. But we will add many more perspectives to it, and then you will have that many more ways to work with your child and enjoy your child, and enjoy the whole journey with the child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I have been talking to my daughter
Yeah.
regarding this. So she's in fourth grade as of now, and
Okay.
she's in a main school.
Yeah.
I have been looking since past 1 2 years about alternative schooling because she's not in that mainstream kind of environment, which doesn't interest her.
Mm-hmm.
I have been struggling to explain this to my husband because he is completely no what next if she's not liking this, what will be her future, we are spoiling her future. So we both are having this clash, my ideology and
Sure,
his
sure.
thoughts are having like kind of opinion differences and all. So
Sure, that's good. That's
what
good. First of all, that's good that you have differences. Yeah,
yeah.
because that brings two different energies, and that's good for the child. That's more vital. That's more energetic than just everybody agreeing, right? So uh, what I will say is, again, if you if you if you just like the idea, just come for a week. I can only sample you that two things. Jagriti is the first thing, and second is not first and second as in the order, chronological
Yeah,
order,
yeah,
but
yeah.
two options. One is
Correct.
Jagriti will totally blow you away, right? The second thing is come over and stay here for a week. Bring your hubby along, not to change him, not to convince him. Please
No,
don't
no,
think
yeah.
we are not working from that perspective that we need to convince everybody, but the idea is to explore. Idea is to explore beyond what we already know. If we are stuck with what we already know, then where is the progress? Right? There's no progress.
Yeah,
If we
I
are
have been
open to
explaining the same
exploring,
thing. See, there's learning and unlearning. We have to do certain unlearning to know more. That's what I keep saying him. But it's not easy to convince or
yeah, again,
take
please
him.
don't try and convince him. The convincing frame of mind is a very troublesome frame of mind, both for the one who's trying to convince, the other one who who
Yes,
who's trying to be getting convinced, right?
true,
But
true.
when we are in the sharing frame of mind, then that's a very open frame of mind. I'm saying I have one view, you are saying you have two views. Great, we'll have a bhel puri today. right? Life is a whirlpool. Life is not a fixed thing. Right? It's a mix of a whole lot of emotions. It's a whole lot of things that happens in our life. So embrace that. Yeah. And invite your uh, your child, your husband to explore. And believe me, for that, yes, you can come here. That's one beautiful way, or one way in which, okay, maybe not beautiful, maybe one way in which I can offer you. Okay. The other way is to explore the world around, is to even first stop and explore, how am I learning something? Right? Each one of us, if we start looking at how am I learning today, whatever I have learned, maybe I just go to a YouTube video. Maybe that's where I got maybe an Insta reel sparked me off, and then I started talking to my friend, and then I picked up a book, and then I learned this, and voila, I'm no more even in my old profession in which I got a degree. I'm doing something totally different. How many of us in this group are doing totally different from what we studied?
Yes, yes.
Now, if that is the case, then is future or education or learning about a degree or a subject, or is it about me? So that's what I'm saying. So we can start exploring different things, and bring these discussions, how your daughter is exploring, how your husband is exploring, how your neighbor is exploring, or whoever, right? That's the beauty of life. We can understand life by looking at the life, and life is happening for all of us. It's not like the child is only going through education. But yeah, please don't try to convince anybody, because that's not the whole point. The whole point is to explore. Maybe you want to
Yes,
explore,
got
he
it.
doesn't want to explore. That's fair enough. See where you two meet, and take
Yeah,
it from
sure.
there. Yeah,
Sure, sure. I'll definitely get in touch personally again to discuss further on this.
sure.
So
But I will really suggest the Jagriti program. I'm obviously hard selling Jagriti program because one batch is starting now. So that's why I'm selling it. But the reason I'm saying is that really makes you think everything in a very, very different way, or rather ways, because no way is right, wrong, but there are so many ways. Like how Vandana is saying, if there's no curriculum, there's no subject learning. Why not? Vandana, no curriculum does not mean that the option of learning maths is gone. No curriculum only means I decide what I want to learn. If I want to learn maths, I can learn maths, and I can learn anyhow. I will give you an example of Advik. Advik, when he was around 13 and a half or so, that's when the COVID thing happened, lockdown. Now he's at home. What does he want to do? So he said, okay, he spoke to his cousin. Cousin was some 25 years old. Cousin said, I'm into stocks and I'm reading this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So Advik said, I'll also read this. I also want to know about what are these stocks. And 2 years fast forward, he was completely into financial trading, including technical analysis, including he and his cousin together developing a software to do technical analysis. 2 years, he's not gone to school at all. He doesn't know any subjects, and he has learned so much of applied, you can call it maths, to even develop a software which uses calculus. Right? This is a child who hasn't gone to school, please, and he has never learned mathematics the formal way. To do all of that in 2 years, because he was suddenly so. In fact, his parents would call me, Ratnesh, do something. Advik whole day is just watching about stocks and financials, and how does this whole stock market work, and he's listening to n number of talks. He has gone crazy. I said, let's celebrate his case craziness. Yeah. So that is the beauty of a 13-year-old in just 2 years doing that. And that's the beauty is, after 2, 3 years, he said, enough of finance. Now I don't want to do finance. I want to do something else. I want to explore more world. That's the beauty of children. They just because they like something doesn't mean that that's the end of the world. They realize that the world is not flat. We can go round and round. We can explore lots of things, right? We think the world is flat. Once you've found the flat ground, keep walking. Nope. Right. So that's the beauty. So again, if they want to learn a subject as a subject, as in, from a textbook, they can do that. It's their choice. But if they don't want to do that, they can learn anything and everything just by merely exploring it. Yeah, my son, I'll give you another example. My son and me went for a deep diving course, PEDI certified. We wanted to become at 12 or 13. I took him. I didn't take him. I was going. He said, I also want to come. We said, okay. And there they give a 2 day, full day video watching course to understand the physics behind diving, because that's very important. Your life is at stake when you dive so deep, because the pressure is too high. And this boy has never gone to school, has never really studied any physics or maths or anything. 2 days he soaked in all the videos, meaning even I was soaking in. And after that, they take a test, because this is PADI cert. You're becoming a certified diver. So you can dive alone. So you need to pass the test. And out of 50, he got 45. Somebody who has never done physics. And this was all about physics, currents, atmospheric pressure, density, all kinds of things, all kinds of technical words. And I keep wondering, most people don't even, as adults, understand this word density. And they understand it at a very superficial level. But what does it do in the real sense? What does it do to a liquid, or what does it do to a solid? You know, Mm, I'm not saying, uh, I'm not trying to belittle the education system. I'm only trying to say, when you have your heart there, anything can be learned in any which way, and not necessarily from this way or that way, and not necessarily for an exam, more for what excites you. Yeah. So, sorry, very long answer to your small question. Yeah. More questions, more thoughts, more people welcome on video. I get to then see the people whom I'm talking to. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just sitting here alone. Yes. Yeah. Hi, Vandana. You want to ask something, share
Sir,
something?
sir, how can I raise a child without any conditioning? My child is 2 year old.
Okay. The answer is very simple. And the best part is you already have the answer with you. Okay. Now you're saying without any condition, which means you're saying who can uncondition me, right? And the person who can uncondition you is your 2 year old. So the person is already there, right? The children are not there for us to teach, the children are there for us to learn from. If we turn this upside down, then they will condition you bit by bit, bit by bit. That's how it happened to her. It's still happening. I'm not saying I'm fully unconditioned, but every day they uncondition, because their way of looking at the world, about everything, is very, very different. And if we hold the magic of a 2 year old, then that's the most beautiful, magic. So I keep telling parents, and that is why the Jagrati program again is that there's only one thing I'm selling, and that I'm selling your child to you. But believe me, people don't want to buy that. People want to buy everything else. They want to buy their own concerns, their own worries, their own knowledge, their own fears about future, and so on and so forth. I say, come on, the thing that you need to buy is your own child. But no, we want to buy everything else. We want to buy what the society says. We want to buy what the culture says. But we won't want to buy what is right in front of us, right in our laps. Right? If we buy our own child, or rather buy into our own child, then the child will help us, guide us, and we together will get an amazing journey together. I don't know what will happen in future, right? I don't think anybody knows. In spite of the biggest qualification, you don't know what is going to happen in your future, right? Future is not guaranteed just because you went to a particular college or you did something, or for that matter, even if you have a lot of money. Yeah. What really is matters is this journey together. And the best way to have this journey together is to be together. But together, I don't mean physically together, I mean connected in so many different ways. And we can only connect with somebody if we hold somebody worthy. That, okay, this person is equal to me, this person is as amazing as I am. And then we start the magic. Right. So in a way, again, I'm saying, if you want to explore how this can happen, or what are the different ways in which we can make it happen, that's what Jagrati is all about. Jagrati will open up you to so many more windows through which you can see your child, and then you observe the child. Jagrati is life is all about observing children, or for that matter, whomever you are working with. And if you can observe the child through many, 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 many windows, then you will slowly, slowly, the child will help you unconditioned. So people say, what if I don't want to do Jagriti? I said, absolutely fine. Please don't do Jagriti, but please observe your child. And observe the child not from the way you are seeing. Seeing is different, and what we are and how we are seeing is different. Yeah, for example, as I said, somebody said at the beginning, let me share this slide again, is that my child is into now arguing and what did you say? Yeah, the child is into arguing and questioning everything. And now that is our own way of seeing that that is a problem. How do I deal with it? But that's then I'm seeing how in one way. The moment I see that as now the child is finding himself, finding the treasure inside him, then the whole game changes. So when you say questioning or arguing, when you say discipline and routine, Mehek, when you say not happy with schooling, when you say decision making, independence, all of these things are there inside the child. The ability to school himself is there. The ability to discipline. Discipline does not mean others. Discipline mean myself. The ability to run with a routine. Now, routine, if I am as an adult thinking routine has to be the way I think routine is, then I have not understood routine. Then I've only copied the idea of routine, what the world has sold to me. But routine itself can be very interesting. Yeah. More questions? I don't know if I answered your question or I went on my own rant, but that's me. You ask me one thing and I'll go somewhere. Yeah, more thoughts, more question. Uh, Suvarna, I don't know if I answered your question or not. If you still have a question about child centric, we can talk about that.
Yeah. Actually, I attended few sessions from Punaruthan Vidyapeeth, conducted by Indu Taiji.
Mm-hmm,
So in that, they were speaking about the teacher-centric model of school will be better for the
mm-hmm,
Bharatiya system because they are up to changing the education system,
mm-hmm,
and they are not seeing it in. I mean, right now they are not going to change it, but it takes decades of time, and they are working on it through schools who are aligning with their way of thinking and all. So our school in which our children are studying, it is Pune Pramati School in Bangalore,
mm-hmm,
which is like not an completely normal school, but not an completely Gurukul kind of school. It's like
mm-hmm.
in middle, Gurukul kind of school. And this school also in line with the Punarathan Vidyapeeth founded by Indu Taiji. So
Sure.
while I was going through the sessions, their books and all, so there was teacher centric method they were proposing
Mm-hmm,
to be a better approach for the children to become Bharatiyas,
mm-hmm,
because they have modernized already. The education system has modernized everyone, including parents, and children are also becoming like that. So for that, they were proposing that, and I was not more into this. I'm just learning about that right now. So I was more worried about, as you said, child centric, and child is the center of the universe. When you said that,
mm-hmm.
a child, I believe that, I mean, maybe in when they are 5 years or below 5 years, they may feel that they are center of the universe, and that may be true because they will get all the pampers and they will get all the things in the world,
Pause,
whatever
pause,
they
pause,
need.
pause. Being center of the universe does not mean that I get pampered. Being center of the universe means that the universe is all there for me to interact, to give, to take, to engage, to interact. I am not alone. It means that the whole universe is available to me. Yeah. It does not mean that I become self-centered. In any case,
Yeah,
we are all
that's what.
self-centered. Right? We are all self-centered by whatever we think, whatever ourself, whatever however we define ourselves. So to me, self-centered is not wrong or right. It is what we are. We are designed, our human brain, animal brain, plant brain, everything, fish brain, everything is designed for our own existence, the way we look at the world. Yeah. Now, if we are designed that way, and you are, you are saying no, 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 no. I'm not saying you, as in somebody says no, no, no. I will decide how the child will learn. Then it just becomes shifts from me centered to you centered. So when you say yes, it is teacher centered. Again, I have nothing against whoever, whatever names you are taking. I don't know them, and I haven't interacted with them. So it's not about them. I'm saying one is to say that you can somebody other centric model is better for our children. I'm saying the very idea, whatever idea you have. Suppose I have an idea that let's say the child should be kind. Like now, is that idea to be brought from outside or from inside? Do we think the children are already kind? And then if they're kind, then the kindness has to grow from inside, not from outside. Not by my saying what is kindness and how it is to be lived, but by the child teaching me kindness. Can a child teach me kindness? Yes, the child can teach me kindness if I am ready to learn kindness from the child. And in the whole process of the child teaching me kindness, I am learning kindness and the child is learning kindness. So what I'm trying, I don't think I don't know what they are saying. So I'm not there to argue with that. I'm just trying to say the child centered. You have to little more understand. Child centered does not mean that the child uh, is going to just drive or ruin himself or just go astray or just look at oneself. Not at all. In fact, it's just the opposite. If we give the children the space for themselves, they realize the space does not exist in isolation, that they always exist with all the people, all the things, everything around them. And then they start interacting with them. So I would say, whether you call it, these are just terms, child centric or teacher centric or whatever centric. The point is, do we value the child as an equal human being? Yeah, that to me is the bigger point. Nothing to do with who is giving what an idea, right? Whoever can give whatever ideas, that's absolutely fine. But can I hold the child at the same level as me? Or even maybe higher, but not required. But more importantly, can I be at the same level? And then what happens? Then how the whole dynamics works. Then can their decisions be equally beautiful as my decision? That's how I look at it. So uh, I don't know. I don't want to get into these terms. I don't know what is Gurukul method. A lot of people talk about Gurukul method, but I don't know what it is because I was not there at the time the method was around. Yeah. And in any case, Gurukul method was probably only for the kings. It was only for a very, very small echelon of the society, the kings and all, who wanted their children to be groomed in a certain way. Yeah. Those times were different, things were different. So I don't know what is Gurukul methods, and I cannot say anything about it. But the way I have experienced teaching, I won't call it teacher centric. I would say the teachers, I would say the best teacher is when I learn myself. As in, when I learn from my own experiences. So to me, the teacher centric model itself is a child centric model because the most beautiful teacher is inside me, not outside me. The guru is inside me as well as the disciple is inside me. When I find both, then then I can learn anything that I want to. Sorry, we went in a little different direction, but I'm just trying
No,
to
no, no.
clarify. I mean, if you are comparing with something, then first you need to understand how this works, right? Because it's let's not get lost in terms. Let's first understand what this means. I don't know what that means, but I can talk about what this means.
Yeah, even I am learning it about that. So I am not sure about that. Maybe in future I can explain it better. Thank you.
Sure, sure. And if you want, explore Jagrati program, because again, Jagrati isn't about telling you what is right or what is wrong, but it will invite you to see many, many things in many, many, many different ways. Uh, to me, the world does not exist in one way. The world exists in plurality. The world exists because there are so many views. There's so many ways, there's so many foods, there's so many flowers. So the whole universe exists because there's so many types of people, there's so many religions, there's so many thinking. Now I cannot say I am superior to others, but I can say let me hold many so that I can see what I am attracted towards, what drives me, what brings me joy. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else has more questions? Let me also post some links if anybody is interested. Um, as I was sharing, we have both the options of the child being at campus or the parent being part of Aarohi as an online um, community. So both these options are there, the at campus as well as the online. Let me post some links in the chat window. Um, all of these links are obviously available on the website, even if you just go. Also, the WhatsApp is there. You can connect with me if you need anything or if you want to discuss anything. Just repeating the Jagriti 66th batch. This is a program we started in 2002, and 66th we do about 2 batches in a year. So 66th batch is happening starting this Friday. So if you're interested, uh, basically to empower yourself to see the child in so many different ways, and in that create so many more connections with the child, and then enjoy the journey in so many different ways. So that's what Jagriti is all about. Yeah. Yeah, any other question? We're okay at 6:20. It's kind of time to close, but if there is anybody who has a last question, I can take that.
Ratnesh, I have one question. Like my
Sure.
son, 4-year-old, he goes to archery class. It's
Mm-hmm.
been 4 months that he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like suddenly he now has started saying that he don't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever he goes, he comes back happily and he enjoys. But
Mm-hmm.
then while leaving from the house, he's make mahanas like I want to sleep, I want to play in the park. But whenever he's going, whenever we are pushing him a little,
Mm-hmm.
so do you think that pushing is also important? Like you said, it's okay if the child don't wants to go or if the child wants to do something else. But I don't know because whenever he's come back, he comes back happily. So that push is required.
If you want to, if you want to push, please push. If you don't want to push, don't push. See what happens, where what happens, how he takes it. Okay, you can ask him this question that should I push you or should I not push you? He's the best person to guide you, isn't he? See,
Yes.
the problem is not in pushing. Never. Okay, we can push. I push people left, right, and center. In fact, in a way, I've been pushing all of you, right? Okay, pushing is not at all a problem. The problem comes from expectations. When we push with expectations, then there is more tension. Then there is more, whatever, fireworks, as they call it. But when I push without expectations, then there is nothing. Yeah. So
Right.
you
Thank
can see. I don't have an answer. I would say best is ask him. Uh, Same question how you asked me, ask him. Let's see
you.
what he
Sure.
says. Maybe at dinner today you ask him what do you want to. Maybe he will say I don't know. Sometimes you can push me. Sometimes you cannot push me. I don't know. Maybe he will say that. Maybe he will not say that.
Right.
In any case, let him also, one experience is going with joy to a class. Another experience is going when parents are pushing me. Third experience is not going because I decided not going, and so on. So I would say, why not have 15 different experiences with respect to the class? Why only one kind of experience or two kind of experiences? Yeah.
Sure. Last question. Like I have read at so many places, that meal time should be there. That is the most powerful way to bond with the child when you are all having meals together as a family. But I'm struggling with my 4-year-old. Like he wants to eat at his own pace, at his own time. So what do you think again? Ki should
The,
meals
the,
time
the, the
spent?
problem is that you are reading many places, Insta, whatever places, web, books,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
So as I was inviting you, there's another book called Your Child, right? Those books might be right. I'm not saying they are wrong. They may be right, they may be wrong. But then if you want to work out of those books, fair enough. But if you want to work out of the book called Your Child, then that's a little interesting book. Now that may shatter you first. That may shatter the views that you have or the way you look at something, right? But it's very very interesting. Okay. So maybe you can say, okay, for a day, Mondays we will follow your book, Tuesday you follow my book, Wednesday we'll follow Vandana's book, right? Thursdays we'll follow Ratnesh's book. I don't know. How do you want to do it? But that's exactly what I'm saying. We have so many sources of information. Everybody telling this is the best, right? You
Yes,
open media and everybody is saying I have the best solution. But I'm telling you the best solution is already in your house.
right, right.
Requires no charging. It's already he's or she is supercharged already.
Sure.
Okay, but we are not
Thank you.
listening. We are not understanding. Forget. I'm not saying you have to follow him or you have to agree to him. I'm saying first let's understand him. If he says I want to eat like this, what does it mean? Have we even seen from his point of view, or we are already in our point of view that it has to be a routine?
Yes, maybe, yes.
If you are already with that point of view, that's why I'm saying seeing is different, but how we see is different. When we start thinking, how am I seeing my child? Then I realize I'm only seeing from this perspective, the right wrong perspective, let's say. What if I leave that aside? Now I've started seeing the child in a third perspective, and a fourth, and a fifth, and a sixth. And soon you will have some 30 perspectives just to see one thing. Yeah. So, as I said, again, if you want to go deeper into it, if you want to open up multiple perspectives, okay, that's when that's where the Jagrati program is. It will only open windows. It will not tell you which window you want to look from. So, whichever windows you already have are amazing windows, including the ones that you read on Instagram or whichever book or website or author. Everybody is right. There is no wrong. Just keep collecting more windows. But the most important window to the child is his own thinking. Yeah. So in a way, when I say child centric, I mean valuing the child.
Sure. Right.
Okay. Sorry, my network kind of reminded me it's time to say bye bye and not bother people too much. Okay. So let's pause here and let's say bye bye for now and let's stay connected. Whichever way, whether you are part of any of our initiatives or not, that's not so important. But let's stay connected because one thing is common between us. We want to enjoy this journey with our children deeply. I don't mean at a surface level. I mean deeply, and that binds us together. Yeah. So let's work from there. So thank you and bye bye. And we'll stay connected.